I wonder if you have ever hated anything. I can remember smells I have hated, usually emanating from other adolescent males, often making me gag because teenage boys are gross. I can remember sights I've hated, things I cannot bear to look at. But to be honest, hate isn't really something I feel very often. Hate just seems like too much hard work to me. It takes energy to actively dislike something or someone, to dislike so much that you want to see it destroyed, that you want to work towards its destruction. I think I'd lose interest after a couple of days and fall back into mild dislike or annoyance. Maybe you think I'm mad and you've got all sorts of things you hate, from terrible movies to politicians to ex-lovers, I don't know. But there is something I do know. Almost all of us, almost all of the time, hate to be hated. We want to be liked, don't we? We really don't like the idea that someone else might think badly of us, might look down on us, might even be working against who we are and what we stand for. But this is what Jesus tells his followers to expect. In our passage today, he says, "If the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. If you belonged to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you." There is an expectation that if we belong to Jesus and live according to his standards rather than the way of the world, that the world will hate us for it. And I don't want to be hated. I just want to love people like Jesus told me to, and to hope that they'll love me back. And sometimes in church life, I think we work a little too hard to be liked. Now, don't get me wrong, Jesus calls us to love people, and that's a nice thing to do, and sometimes people will appreciate it. But sometimes loving people means holding them to account, calling out gossip and malicious talk, expecting better of people. Sometimes loving people means standing up against corruption and exploitation. It means seeking justice even when justice is unpopular. It means speaking out again for those in need, even to those who don't want to hear it. Sometimes loving means sticking to an unpopular opinion, even if it costs us friendships. Have no doubt, being a follower of Jesus isn't going to make everyone love you. Some people will hate you for it. Some people will work against you. And then we're called to love our enemies. We are called to work for the benefit of even those who are working against us. And that may well end up in them hating you all the more. If you want to follow Jesus, be prepared to meet resistance. And be prepared to meet it in the power of the Holy Spirit, and to respond to that resistance with the love of Jesus. On Monday, we're going to be reading together John 16, 1 to 15.